now's your junior season, and this group that we had, my senior year and your junior year was touted to be one of the best teams to ever come through Central.
I agree with that.
Did you feel any pressure of having that title as you enter your junior season?
Oh yeah, because it was like you said, it was boiling down, man. We was at the thick of talent. You know what I'm saying? Every position was star-studded that year. Y'all was our seniors. We was the juniors. We was well established. Me, stunt, prep. We was ready. You know what I'm saying? And y'all filled in all the other positions. Like I said, it was a star-studded cast. So the expectations we had was so high. Anything less than that, you felt like it was a failure. You know what I'm saying? Just because we were so star-studded, I felt like, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, everybody was on the same page, had one goal at hand. We just didn't get it done every time, but you know what I'm saying? We had fun trying to accomplish that goal, but man, yeah, expectations was real high that year.
Okay, that team went 5-5 that year, which is way below our expectations. Mm-hmm. But what went wrong in that season, in your opinion?
I feel we had poor coaching, man. That's, just plain out, because the talent is there, and it's the coach's job to utilize the talent that is fullest ability, and I felt like that wasn't being done. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I said, with a star-studded cast like we had, I felt like a lot of people was shunned out of All-State. You know what I'm saying? We didn't ever get the personal accolades like that. We didn't ever get all that kind of recognition, and it had a lot to do with our coaching. You know what I'm saying? They didn't even, even try to promote us like we should have been promoted as athletes. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us got, swept under the rug, I feel.
Gotcha. Now we go into the playoffs, sectionals. Mm-hmm. And in the first round, we beat Roosevelt easily. Now we playing against Valparaiso in a huge game. We up 35-18 in the middle.
You guaranteed we'll win in the paper.
Yes. Yes, sir.
You remember that? You had the muscle in the paper.
Yeah. We have 35-18 middle of the third quarter, and we lose 38-35.
Is you asking me a question?
Yeah.
Anybody who knows football can answer that question. That has to be poor coaching, because if you see somebody out there getting beat, which somebody did get beat, why not make the proper adjustments to handle that and not letting that keep happening until they finally come back and win and chew out the clock at the end? That's an answer within itself, man. I ain't even got to elaborate no further on that. Sometimes I used to think about that and really, man, that shit used to throw me for a loop, man, because, man, I felt we could have did it that year, man, and that was our setback right there. It's always one setback that knocked you off track, and I felt that was the one. Kill the locomotive, man. Stop the engine. And it did. Put us out for that season. And everybody went on about their business after that, Yeah.
Now you're a senior at Central. And now it's your team. Well, I always felt like, even though you was under me, you was still one of our leaders. You know what I'm saying? You was vocal, and you also played. Right. Now it's officially your team. Mm-hmm. As you said, your junior year was the team that can go state. You going to that season, did you have realistic goals of winning state, or was it one of them things to where you wanted to play hard, compete, and then see how things go?
Yeah, it was one of them things where you always in the back of your mind want to set the highest standard goal in your head and try to achieve it. But you know what I'm saying? At a point, you got to be realistic and know what you're dealing with and be like, man, is these goals really reachable, or you know what I'm saying, if I'm setting the bar too high. But in the back of every player's mind, they want to win state. That's what you do it for in the off season. That's why you work hard. So that was always my goal. But yeah, like I said, reality set in. I knew we had talent. We had a lot of young guys, a lot of juniors stepped up. Keon Frazier, Tommy Signards, Bullard. So we had a lot of young guys on our team as well. So talent wise, I felt we could have competed with the best in the state. But mentally, I knew a lot of guys weren't ready for that. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, we still were star-studded as far as talent, but a lot of people didn't have the mental capacity to deal with the talent that they have and push themselves to that extra level to succeed greatness, I felt. And that was our downfall that year. even though we had a pretty decent season that year. We
Yeah,
started off
6-4.
that season.
Yeah.
We started off 4-1. We came out playing Portage. They was like number 3 in the state, or number 4 in the state. We beat I'm talking about we demolished them for the first half. Demolished them. Came out. Keon Frazier had like 300-some pass yards passing. The score was like 31-20 at halftime. We was murdering them. Them boys didn't know what hit them. And then it's like I said, a lot of people, we had a lot of mental breakdowns. And at halftime, a lot of guys went in with the mentality, oh, it's over. Like they was going to roll over and die for us. And like I said, they was in the opposite locker room with the opposite mind state. Like, these boys don't know what they in for. They think it's over. And they came out and they handed our ass to us in the second half. We didn't score one more point. We lost that game. We could have easily destroyed them. But then after that, we won 4 straight. So, you know what I'm saying? That season, that was the display of mental breakdowns. And because, like I said, talent-wise, we could have played with the best of them in the state. But every game we lost, it was mental breakdowns all the time.
Now, in that season, you know, you guys lost to Lake Central in the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
But now for the first round of sectionals, you got a rematch.
Right.
Great game.
And that first game, man, I think they beat us like 50-something to 7. We scored 1 touchdown that game. They murdered us. I mean, it was a total embarrassment. But like you said, first round of sectionals, it was the rematch. So, you know, we was charged, pumped, ready to get at these boys because they was thinking it was going to be a walk in the park again. You know what I'm saying? We came in their stadium, you know what I'm saying? So we ready. We ready to hand them. They lost right on their own field and advance to the next round, you know what I'm saying? So that's the mentality. We came in ready to just kick ass and take names, you know what I'm saying? And we did that for the whole game. Like I said, the game was an even match all the way through, and it was on a consistent pace. It was just going back and forth, all the way down to the wire. And we lost it right at the end of the game, man. We was tied up what, I forget what it was, 47-47 or 49-49, and we was on defense, man. All we had to do was stop them and send them to overtime, and man, our defense couldn't hold them, man. That guy Nick Tester, I remember him, man. He bombed us up right at the end, man. Right at the end of the game, they had him in the paper, man. In the nick of time, that was the caption. Man, I had that in my locker for so long, man.
Yeah.
It was, man, like I said, we just had a mental breakdown right at the end. That was the story of that season, man. A lot of mental breakdowns, and that was easily could have been fixed, man. And like I said, a lot of that had to do with coaching. I feel a lot of timeouts should have been called, but they let the game just continue, and you know what I'm saying. The defense couldn't get set a lot. I don't want to make up excuses, but a lot of things could have been different that last drive, man. That could have changed that outcome, man. Really.
Now your junior year, you know, you ended in a bad way. You know, you had a big lead and lost it. Now your senior year, you know, you had a great ball game and lose it in the last seconds. What kind of mind state did you have personally?
Man, that's like, wow, I can't believe it. It's like as hard as you fight, sometimes it's just adversity it just prevails, you know what I'm saying? Not saying to have a give up mentality, not to say that no matter what you do, some things you ain't gonna accomplish, but it's just like, that's what I had at the time, because I knew I put in so much work, man, especially in the off season. I worked so hard, and you know what I'm saying, and I felt that my hard work didn't pay off, so I was really frustrated at the time. That's the emotion I felt more than anything, just frustrated, and basically.
Do you believe it's a myth that the East Chicago athletes are hands down the best athletes, probably in the state of Indiana and probably some in the Midwest, but they can't handle drama, or they can't handle adversity?
No, I wouldn't. I mean, I can agree on, yes, we are by far, I think, East Chicago got some of the greatest talent to ever even lace them up on the court or on the field as well, man. But I mean, as far as mental capacity, that got to do with your own upbringing. I mean, like I say, a lot of guys from where we from, yeah, we do experience a lot of hardships and a lot of heartache, but I mean, the people I know, that made them stronger, you know what I'm saying? But it just depends on the person. If you're a weak-minded person, you will, you know what I'm saying, be vulnerable and fall victim to a lot of, you know what I'm saying, trickery and a lot of things you're exposed to. But if you're a strong-minded person like me, like I say, the adversity I went through made me stronger. So I really can't speak for the next man. It all depends on that individual, I feel, you know. So, but I mean, just looking at the talent as a whole, I feel that maybe you are right because a lot of great players did lose it all on something mental. They, you know what I'm saying? They talent couldn't pick up for their mental lack of capacity. So maybe you is right. I don't know, but I feel it. It all lies on the individual within itself, though.